Hey guys, it's Plant Genius here. So today we're gonna be talking about some plant genetics because I love me some genetics. We're gonna be talking about polyploidy today, which is pretty much like when plants have like extra copies of chromosomes that they are normally not supposed to have. But let's get into it. So I don't know how much you guys remember about like biology in like high school or college, where we talk about meiosis, mitosis. Meiosis is a process of like cells creating sex cells, and mitosis is a process of like body cells just replicating themselves pretty much. So it's like same amount of DNA for mitosis and then another copy of that, or half that DNA and another copy. So you have like gametes, which are sex cells. So for polyploidy, we're talking about like meiosis for the most part when we're talking about sex cells and like plants reproducing. So what happens kind of is like, so normally like plants will have like two ends or like two sets of chromosomes, right, in both the cells, and normally they're supposed to split and divide. So like you have the gametes, and then the gametes can go out and then go into like a sperm cell and an egg cell can come together and like fuse, create a zygote, and that's how you have in the plant. Or like in human cases, like that would be like a fetus or another baby, right? And sometimes what happens is like the cells don't actually like separate and they stay together. So the chromosome amount will actually stay as 2n, while one still might have the separation. So you might have a sperm cell that still has like that one end, so it's only half that copy, but then an egg cell that might still have two, and that's not going to work because for it to like actually get fertilized, you need equal balance, or like 1 and 1, so you can make two. So what happens, that creates like an egg or a zygote that has 3n, or like three copies of chromosomes, which that creates a sterile plant, because or sterile seed, because that can't reproduce because it won't be able to copy correctly because it's not balanced. There's three and we need like four, or you need like a even number. But if, let's say, if this egg went the way of like mitosis, instead of it it going more so in a sexual path of like trying to reproduce with someone else, and it went towards a like path like meiosis, and it started to copy itself, then that could become a plant itself, and it would still be sterile in a sense, but you can still kind of have a plant from this, if it makes sense. Like plant genetics are actually really cool. And then there's two different types of like polyploidy in plants too. So that there's like autoploidy, which is pretty much when like, let's say like the same plant, like they both, let's say like both species decided, like their cells weren't able to split, and we end up having like four instead of having 1 and 1 again. That can work. Or let's say like two different species come together and then they put both their chromosomes in one. That could work too. So like this is kind of important to know, just because this is a very important areas of like plant breeding. Let's say like if you want to create a species, but that they're not compatible. If you do it right, you could actually like splice both with like the chromosomes from like different species and actually create a new plant. But like there's some techniques that you can do with that. And there's a lot that goes in it too. And that's why, again, like sometimes you get sterile seeds because like genetic errors happen like that, like mutations, which causes like issues in like the meiosis process, which messes up with the gametes, and then the plants can actually like reproduce correctly. But there's a lot that goes into it. But I just wanted you guys to look a little snippet in some of plant genetics. So I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Remember, I may be a plant genius, but you can be a plant genius too. Thank you. Peace out.